everybody. This is Deb.
And Tom.
And we are here in the Internet of Unintended Consequences. And you're going to notice we've got a slightly different location.
But
where are we?
We are at the Square in Decatur, Georgia, right in back of the courthouse. And it's a really interesting setting for us, Deb.
It is, because this month we've got an interesting theme. And, you know, Tom, you and I have been going back and forth about what is this theme and what it actually means. And I'm going to ask you guys to suspend belief a little bit and give us some time to explain it. What are we talking about?
We are talking about digital citizenship.
Okay, so when I think of citizen, right, I'm thinking about the government, I'm thinking about rights and responsibilities and, you know, being a citizen, right? But that's not what you're talking about.
No, because think of it this way. You're thinking of that, and you're thinking all the right terms.
Okay.
Because as people, we've always been part of citizens of a group.
Yes.
A clan, a tribe, throughout human history, to neighborhoods and states or cities and, you know, federal governments. We've always been citizens of that. But now with the internet, all of a sudden we're citizens of something we can't see and touch and feel. We're citizens of a global community where we're all interconnected online, and it's a faceless community. So it's a whole new concept of citizenship.
Okay, and so the idea, I guess, like a real government, if we were talking about citizenship in a government, you know, when you're part of something, you have to recognize that there are people other than just you, right? You're part of a group, and so we need some rules. As the lawyer speaking, right? But we need some rules. We need some guidelines how we act in this, and that's what this website you were talking to me about, digitalcitizenship.net, and the guy who sort of started it. Can you tell us why we're doing it?
Well, his name is Mike Ribble.
Ribble, okay.
And he's in Manhattan, Kansas, and he's an educator by life.
Okay.
And he first heard this term when he was a graduate assistant at Kansas State University. And as soon as he heard the term digital citizenship, he said he knew that was a space that he wanted to be in.
It's an interesting term.
It is, and that's why he created digitalcitizenship.net.
Okay.
And he came up with a definition that is his idea for digital citizenship. And that,
so what's his definition?
It's the norms of appropriate, responsible technology use.
Okay, so it's the norms of appropriate, responsible technology use.
Exactly.
Okay, so those rules that I was talking about, right? Now, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, Tom. I haven't heard much about this guy. I haven't heard much about this website. Why is that? Is he focused on a certain area and that's why I haven't heard about him?
I think so. He's focused on education.
Okay.
And he's really working in the secondary schools. He's worked in the colleges and universities. But because that's where his realm has been, I think that we haven't heard of him in that general sense.
Okay, so is he building things like curriculum for these schools and the kids about the appropriate use of technology? He
is indeed, and he's actually come up with 9 elements of digital citizenship.
And that's what you shared with me, right?
Exactly.
And it's on their website, www.digitalcitizenship.net.
Exactly.
Right, and click on the tab that says the 9 elements. But very quickly, just so that we can sort of let our audience know what they are.
Right. Digital access.
And that's about, you know, participating in society, right? Making sure that people have access to the technology that they need.
Exactly. Then digital commerce, which is the electronic buying and selling of goods.
Well, we got that down pat, don't we, right?
We
no more
do.
Black Friday. We got Cyber Monday. We know about that one.
We sure do. We had that one nailed. Then we've got digital communication, which is the electronic exchange of information.
Okay, so some of the stuff that we try to do with our blog, our video, radio show, for example, right? Those kind of things?
Exactly.
Ah, cool. I got that.
Digital literacy.
Okay, and here's where that education piece comes in, right? Because we've heard of computer literacy, we've heard of information literacy, now the idea of digital literacy, and how do we use this technology to be able to communicate, to be able to do our jobs, to be able to learn what we need to learn? Is that where he's going with that?
I think so.
Very
exactly.
Cool.
Digital etiquette.
Ah, one of my favorite. We even had Peggy Parks, if you remember, as one of our first radio shows, talking about civility in the online world and the etiquette. And we're going to be talking about actually cyberbullying in one of our future videos. So
We will. Really a really important topic, particularly for young people, but adults as well. Digital law, one of your specialties.
Yes, as the lawyer, right? And it'll be interesting because next month's theme, we're actually going to be looking at technology use in the government. So that other definition, right, of digital citizenship. And I think looking at the law and the rights and responsibilities, do we have new rights and responsibilities now in the digital world? So that'll be interesting.
That's going to be a fascinating topic.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
And it goes into their 7th one.
Digital rights and responsibilities.
Yeah. So I think those two, when you talk about the law, because when you talk about rights, there's your duty,
Right.
But there's also the way, how do you protect those rights, like privacy?
Sure.
How do we protect privacy today? And, you know, teaching kids, don't put everything out there, but also teaching ourselves.
An important thing to do, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Then we've got digital health and wellness.
And this is one of your favorites.
It is,
right?
indeed.
Because it's the topic that Tom just loves to talk about, this health tech and all these things that are coming out. The Apple Watch we were talking about, and the Fitbits, but I think all of that stuff, and I love the idea that it's not only about health, it's about wellness. It's about looking at the holistic person, right?
Precisely.
So their physical, their mental, their emotional, all of this that gets impacted by technology, even though we don't think of it that way.
Exactly, and it's so important because we're living longer now. So
Yes.
very, very important.
Yes.
And then the last is digital security, which gets into self-protection, electronic precautions, that sort of thing.
Yeah, how
that
do we
can take.
protect ourselves? You know, I talked a little bit about privacy, but the other end of that is, as we're trying to get services, these businesses need a certain amount of information.
Right.
How do we assure that they protect that information? I mean, we hear about, you know, cyber threats, hacking, Target, and the other companies like that. How do we know that these companies are protecting our information?
Something we really need to keep track of.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, when we look at those 9 elements, the way that Mark sort of laid them out, I think it's very clear that the impact of technology in our lives is very comprehensive, isn't it?
It is. It truly is. And, you know, he's going to be our radio guest this month.
Ah, that's awesome, because I'm looking forward not only to learning about this curriculum, but more importantly, how it fits in with adults, right?
Exactly.
With the rest of us, with those of us who haven't had the opportunity to go through the curriculum, but we want to be, you know, creative, active participants in the digital society. And I think what Mark is saying is, you know, there are these things that can actually guide us and help us.
Exactly, and he's going to get into more than education. He'll talk about the broader applications. He just talked to a futurist convention in San Francisco. So we'll get into all of those topics in our radio show later this month.
That's great, and as always, we want you guys to join the conversation. So this theme's hashtag is hashtag IoUC Dig Sit. DIGCIT. We made it short, but you know what it means. So we look forward to hearing from you guys. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and our website, www.tiouc.com. I'm Deb.
And I'm Tom, and we can't wait to hear from you.
The Internet of Unintended Consequences. Bye-bye.
Bye.